Hello everyone, my name is Anna Boukydis and I'm currently a senior in high school here in Hungary. And I've been working with the Hintalovon Foundation since September of last year, so I have exactly 1 year of experiences to look back on. Now, to kind of talk about my experience with Hintalovon's child safeguarding policy, I want to kind of take you back in time for a moment to when I was first joining the community and getting to know the policy. So, Barbara kind of mentioned previously the different ways in which the policy is accessible to the new child volunteers and how we are educated on its content. And it really is very easily accessible in so many forms, and there is a lot of time spent on making sure that we understand it and spend time with it. It is also frequently reiterated how the policy is there to protect us, and we can ask questions about it and we can communicate any thoughts or opinions that arise. And what I've realized in hindsight about it is how the community is really what leads to the success of the policy. Because if the community wasn't committed to the values of the policy and committed to creating a safe space, then the policy wouldn't be able to thrive or even to be actualized. But there is a very welcoming and compassionate and open-minded community, and so I think that's why the policy is able to be implemented in such an effortless way. Now, what's also interesting about my experience is as I was joining the foundation, I was also spending most of my days in a very traditional school environment, and that inevitably did lead to some comparisons between new experiences that I was gaining at the foundation and my experiences at school. One of the main points of comparison actually is the policy, because in school, the school policy is kind of a long, boring document hidden in a corner of the school website, and because it's kind of so mysterious and not often talked about, it does frequently get weaponized, and it is something that is only brought up in situations of like, you can't do that because the policy prohibits it. Whereas with the foundation, the policy is much more this living document that is there for us to use, and that is there for our safety and to protect us and to create a working environment that respects everyone's perspective and feelings. So that was really a reassuring experience to kind of join the foundation and realize that a community can work towards shared goals with compassion and with holding space for each member, compared to a school policy that is much more kind of abstract and that we don't learn as much about. Now, I suppose it is also a valid question to ask whether or not the adults working with us are potentially overprotective of us, or if the child safeguarding policy is overregulated. However, I think it is important to notice the difference between restricting rules and healthy boundaries. And I think everything from Hintalovon's policy falls into the latter category of healthy boundaries. Things like how we don't communicate after 8 p.m. or how parents are informed before a public appearance. These are things that kind of become a routine for us. And never once during my volunteer experience did I feel like there were these rules restricting me or making my life harder instead of easier. everything felt very natural and like these healthy boundaries that were really there to create a safe space for everyone. Now, the foundation's work is really based in this belief that if people are educated about their rights and child rights, then that will lead to their empowerment and ultimately to a better society. And I think that is also applicable to the child rights or the child safeguarding policy, because if you know like exactly who you can turn to if you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, or exactly what to expect before a trip with the foundation or a public appearance, that is really empowering, and it's not like this gray area that you are kind of trying to figure out who to go to or what's going on. It is very clear, and communication is key. So 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 I've had some very positive experiences with the policy, um, and the implementation in the day-to-day life, and how it's kind of a routine and creates these healthy, empowering boundaries. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share some of my experience.